Quanta products simply feel and perform differently than everything else.
What's the difference? Bioenergy. Here at Quanta, we combine quantum physics with biochemistry to produce some pretty amazing things. We use electric and magnetic frequencies to target or identify specific cannabinoids like CBD to help increase the amount of bioenergy within the cell. This produces a better chemical reaction within the body.
Quantum physics proves that everything in the universe has its own vibration, including our cannabinoid receptors. Cannabis today, just as a matter of nature, is a dead and dying plant, meaning it's losing vibrational power every single day. Here at Quanta, we use our patented technology to retrain the vibrations or frequencies within cannabinoids, which raises their bioenergy to the point where they have matching or identical frequencies with our receptors. When these two identical matching frequencies combine, it creates the highest possible response. This allows each element in our formulas to perform at their highest levels, delivering a better human experience by reducing pain, inflammation, stiffness, and anxiety.
My name is Eric Rice. I'm the founder and CEO of a company called Quanta. We're based right here in Los Angeles, but we're publicly traded and have distribution kind of all over, everywhere, getting into every country out there. What I'm going to do today is probably a little bit different than what you're maybe expecting to hear about. I'm not going to talk about cannabis laws or really cannabis in general, because you guys are getting a little sneak peek into something that we're releasing through the general public and the press in about 10 to 14 days, so it's kind of a good practice for me. And at the same time, it allows us to tell the story of our technology and what our technology really does, because truly at the end of the day, we're not a cannabis company by any means. We have a cannabis division, but we're most definitely a technology company. And we specialize in an area, we're really an applied science company. So our purpose is to invent and create cutting-edge technology or applications of it, apply it to products, and get it to market quickly, which is why cannabis was a great place for us to begin, because it has very low barriers to entry into traditional markets. Can we close that door for the sword fight that's pending back there? Somebody's drawing down on somebody, man. It's probably, so quantum biology, probably a term you've never heard, because we are the first quantum biology company in the world. So quantum biology is very simple. We apply quantum mechanics or quantum physics theories into biological entities. And that is for this, in our area, it's for the sole purpose of benefiting humans and providing more powerful products with far less ingredients. So, environmentally conscious products that require less ingredients that actually perform better in the body. What we focus in on, and when I talk about quantum anything, it's very important to understand that in the quantum space, vibration, energy, and frequency are all the same term. If I use any of those three terms, they all mean the same thing. It's all energy. And Nikola Tesla, as I'm sure you've probably heard of or drove his car. Well, not his car, just the name they stole. But you've probably heard of him. And he said that this is the secret to the universe, and I 100% agree. So a couple things about us. We're really kind of right in the middle of two things. So when you're in traditional physics, you are completely caught up in mathematics and science. When you're in quantum physics, to a traditional physicist or a chemist or a biologist, we are mystics, right? We are the ones that can't be right, although every single major physicist in the history of the world, including the inventor of physics, said quantum physics is too difficult for me to understand. Now, Albert Einstein is the one who said that. He also said this is important to note, it's also very difficult to determine the difference between matter and energy. Because we are all humans. We have human receptors. What we see is a human perception of the energy that's in this room. We are nothing more than energetic beings having a human experience together. So understand that, and you'll understand what we do a little bit deeper. We are also in the middle, at the forefront of being in the middle of what we call the independent, or the proper way of thinking about medicine. We live in a very polarized world, and our process is actually called polarization. So it's kind of strange that we use that. Polarizing world. Everyone chooses to be right versus happy. Right? Do you understand what that means? Right? In a polarizing world, well, Eastern medicine's all that matters, right? So Western medicine's all that matters. You got to have medical science, or acupuncture can't work. Well, unfortunately, somewhere in the middle of that is where happiness exists. So we actually have a very strange company setup. We're a publicly traded company, and we have PhDs in quantum biology and quantum physics. We also have a full-time in-house shaman and Intuit. So we are constantly working on emotions and the way that people perceive the future, especially with scientists, because they get caught up in the insecurities of taking it to the next level. And we really want to break those boundaries so they can discover things that truly save us as people. What we really focus in on here is electron spin. Now, I'm going to show you some illustrations that go back to like 8th grade to science class, and they're not true. They're simply here to make an illustrational point for you as to what we do. And I'll get through this fairly quickly. So I'm sure that you guys understand that within a molecule is a bunch of atoms joined together. They're held together by energy, right? Each atom is held together in a molecule by energy. And each atom is comprised of energy sources. One of them is called the nucleus at the very center, and at the outside are the electrons. It's actually not electrons, little balls rotating around a solar system like I'm going to show you. They're actually clouds of energy. So again, kind of break this down. You have a molecule consisting of multiple atoms. Each atom then also has its own subatomic structure. So we deal in subatomic particles. So while everyone else deals in CBD molecules, we deal in the neutrinos, the neutrons, the protons, the nucleus, the electrons of each atom. So this is what an electron spin looks like when you're alive. Very fast, very far. This is what happens when you age. It slows down, and eventually you get to this point in your death. This is what powder looks like, things that are dried out. Bioenergy can be thought of in this capacity. Small woodland creature eats a plant from the ground, gets tons of energy from the plant. It's super athletic, and then a dog comes along, kills it, takes away half of its energy, eats it, runs it through a digestive tract, processes it out. It ends up becoming waste. That waste turns to powder. That powder blows away in the wind. It has zero bioenergy. So this white powder may have CBD or it may have turmeric in it, but it has no energy. It's a gas it's a car with no gas. The digestive tract is very similar to the food processing or plant processing system that we see in America today. So again, this is what it looks like when you're living. Aging, dying. What we do is take a dying plant matter, feed it with frequencies, retrain it to speed it up to the point where it's back to life. The whole purpose of this is to raise the vibration in an element so that when it enters into a receptor in the body, that it has enough energy and magnetism to be able to really bind to the receptor and improve performance. Our most recent study was with CBD. This is where we launched. Pharmaceutical companies are going to hate us if they already don't hate us. And we did CBD so they'd love us and not hate us from the beginning. But with CBD, what we've done by simply polarizing an ingredient, not adding any chemicals or modifying any genetics, what we've done is we've taken something that normally absorbs at 12%. That's the non-polarized CBD. Our CBD, once treated, actually our CBD or any molecule that we deal with, the absorption rate goes up to 71%. It's a 572% increase in absorption into an enzyme of a natural ingredient, which is why we chose cannabis or hemp, either way you want to look at it. So we started out with two basic products, a muscle rub, a topical muscle rub pain reliever, and a CBD no THC vaporizer. We did the vaporizer simply because it was a big market at the time and it's the highest absorption rate into the body. It avoids the liver. This muscle rub by itself has some really great benefits. It's 13 natural ingredients. It has far less CBD than any muscle rub you'll find out there, and it works far better, kind of proving our technology. We did this as a case study for our business model to prove to other companies that we can take natural ingredients, make them stronger, and make your products more efficacious. Now, we do have some side effects of our products. People who use our products actually feel increased energy levels, greater motivation, heightened confidence, and general feelings of joy. So we try to include that into our commercial. However, hemp and CBD is where we began. It's not where we'll end up. So we're currently in the process right now of spinning out our CBD company with a major international manufacturer and distributor. And we're getting into multiple other ingredients, anti-aging, beauty, nootropics for cognition, brain, all those good things. We are really focused in on the nervous system. Since we are raising electrical values of ingredients, we can help the central nervous system not short and not surge, eliminating simple things like fibromyalgia. So we're really focused on anti-inflammation and cellular reproduction, natural ingredients that do that. We're actually passing every pharmaceutical that's supposed to do the same thing in enzyme absorption, which is all that really matters. And we're really focused in on the body, nervous system, and the brain. When people age, everything in aging revolves around inflammation, cellular reproduction, and cognitive defunking. So some of the other things that we're applying this to is agriculture. We recently polarized ryegrass, which is the world's #1 cover crop. It's a grass that grows about 5 inches that covers soil so the sun doesn't damage the soil. Traditionally grows in 12 days, like clockwork. You put the seed in the ground, 12 days later you've got blades. After polarizing the growth hormone in the seed and providing more energy at germination, our ryegrass grows in 5 days. So we're now getting into hemp for a very specific reason. It has nothing to do with production or vertical integration. It has to do with environment. Hemp is the #1 carbon extracting plant in the world. We want to be able to produce 2 extra crops per year for every hemp farm in the universe to lower the carbon in the air. Some of the other things that we've done is we've actually worked with stem cells. We've attached gold nanoparticles with a specific frequency on the nanoparticle to stem cells, and through injection, doesn't have to be local, we're actually delivering 39% more stem cells to a targeted organ within the body. So again, it's that combination of the universe, science, mysticism. Mysticism and science say the same thing. Every religion in the world says the same thing. Know thyself. That is the core of every religion. No matter who the characters are and what the stories are, it's know thyself. At the end of the day, science is all about improve humanity to us. So that's a little bit about who we are, and I'd love to open up some questions for you. Yes. Thank you.
Awesome presentation. You took a very complex, broad topic and you distilled it down, so bravo.
Thank you.
Question about well, I'll use the ryegrass as an example, but it's
Sure.
applicable to all the other things you're doing. So the ryegrass, so I get you stimulated it and you decreased the germination rate by days, like significantly. What about the second generation of the ryegrass? Have you done that? Does that impact? Does that carry through genetically through the second generation, or do you have to zap the?
With plant, I got your question. You're good. With plant matter, so once you've germinated the actual growth, or once you've polarized the growth hormone for germination,
Yep.
the growth occurs faster.
Yep.
The second plant life that comes through, since we're creating a quantum energy source out of the seed, essentially, quantum energy doesn't just sit; it spreads.
Yep.
So what you're doing is creating a paramagnetic soil, which is the soil you get after a volcano, which everyone says is a natural disaster. But once all that paramagnetic material is left on the ground, burns away everything, once that lava is gone, everything grows much more lush for years, like Hawaii. You see
So
Hawaii.
that's an impact then. That's a secondary effect of it. Is that
Absolutely. That's my passion, is the agriculture side, because we can make products 6 times stronger that exist today, or we can use 1/6 of the amount of materials to make standard products, and at the same time remove a lot of the carbon that's in the air currently. Sir?
Did you mention how much you want to raise?
Well, we've raised $17 million for the company thus far. We've drawn down about 6 of it. We're looking for the right partners. So we have money. We're looking for the right partners who see our vision. And since we're now we're not raising really any more money into the public company, maybe another $1 million. But after that, everything that we do is a joint venture with a major brand, major manufacturer, and each one of those joint ventures will have to be funded, matching funds from each party. They'll put up a lot more because they're much bigger than we are.
When you say partners, what kind of partners are you looking at?
I'm public, so I can't really disclose who I'm working with, but they're names that you would all know, major players in material science and consumer goods. Again, going back to vetting our model, that muscle rub we sold $2.3 million worth of that product to doctors, hospitals, surgeons, pain management centers with $1,800 in marketing. Product works. So the things that we do, it really proved our point. And we also have a different data that's coming out next week where we have one product for 45. We polarized the second ingredient, arnica, and put it and called it Muscle Rub Plus. It works much stronger, and we charge $15 more. That accounts for 30% of our sales, 50% of our revenue with that product line, and it has a repeat purchase rate of 49.5% with overnight shipping. It's pretty amazing. Costs us the same to make each product. Just one of them drives a heck of a lot more margin. I think you were here first.
Hi, I just bought some of your shares.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
It's a good time too. We're letting our we have some crappy bankers that we're letting sell off, so we let the stock drop about $2.
You mentioned wanting partners. I understand you can't say who you're already working with. Can you tell me, in an ideal world, what would be your next dream partnership? Like, what kind of partners are you looking for?
Well, we're working with some major brands that have full coverage of big box. So brands that have a perfect audience design for us. We'll be launching a supplement line where all the vitamins we put out, supplements we put out, we're putting half of the ingredients into a tablet or into a dropper, and it's producing 4 to 5 times better results for the end user. So when we have that tech, we're looking to partner with brands that can call it their brand powered by Quanta. Really, our business is not making products, it's powering products. So some of those perfect partnerships that we'd be looking for are really right, health, beauty, anti-aging. The nootropic space we're not going to partner with, we're just going to compete, just like topical pain relief. And then we're really always looking for anyone that's producing consumer goods. Makeup is an interesting thing for us, for women to actually wear makeup that when they take it off, they look younger. That's really where we're going.
Eric, last question.
Are we out of time?
One more question.
Do you have any plans for partnering on FDA trials with any particular players?
I do. I'm actually launching a pharmaceutical side of this right now. So pharmaceutically, this is a big play for us because what we're doing is you want to raise capital. My pharmaceutical company needs capital. What we're going to be doing is going around and buying all kinds of failed stage 3 drugs that failed because of 1 or 2% efficacy challenges. So when we polarize the ingredient to get them over the hump, we can pay $200,000 for a dead FDA trial that costs $35 million to fail, purchase it, and then put it back into the FDA system with full approval for a couple $100,000.